to reside or be sent. The wilderness is a place that denotes things being unkept, being wild, being untamed, a place that is uninhabited by those who are civilized. We realize that the wilderness is not where we want to be. But I think that if we think about this and we really grasp this whole idea of what it means to live in the wilderness, I think that many of us may recognize that even today it seems that we live in a wilderness. Now I know there are some who would say that we live in this great metropolis, the city of Columbus, where we have great fire folks and policemen and mayor and all of that, all of the things that make up a city. You can pick up your phone and you can order an Uber or a Lyft. You can get yourself a pizza, whatever you want. It would seem that in the city of Columbus, with so many jobs and cars and all of that, the sister family, that we are living the life, so to speak, and that the wilderness is far from us. But I tell you, if we were to just sit back and think, we would realize that even amidst all of the wealth and the great things that we have, Brother LaRon Marshall, it seems that we still live in a wilderness. The wilderness can be more than just our environment, just the trees and the grass, but a wilderness can also appear in our spiritual life. Submit to you today that if you watch your news, if you listen to your neighbors, you will find out that there are spiritual wildernesses all around us, if not kept by us in our own heart. Some of us suffer day and night from that of a wilderness that rests within our own lives. Perhaps there's a wilderness at your job. Maybe there's one in your family, one in your neighborhood. Perhaps there are areas in your life where you feel like things are yet untamed. And notice I didn't say that we're asking for activities in the jungle. We're not asking for activities in the ocean. This is activities in the wilderness. Things are still wild. Things have not been tamed. We realize that the wilderness can be a place that is both dangerous and sad at the same time. In our text today in Mark, we find John, who is the cousin to Jesus. And we find him as he is the forerunner to Christ. He is the one who came to let us know that the Christ is yet on the way, that he is near. In some ways, every single Sunday when we gather in this church, we gather in this church in some ways in the work of John, because we realize that Christ has died, he has gone away, and he's promised us that he shall return. And so I would say, Brother Montel, that it is important for us to realize that we too live in a wilderness and we have some work that needs to be done. I think Deacon Kathy Palmer, that we can learn from John as we think about what he did while in the wilderness. There's some of us who feel like you're able to sit down simply because things aren't going our way. There are some people who said that they were going to leave the country if certain politicians became in charge. There's some people who said that they would do this or that, but the fact is there are many people who just decided to do nothing. I will say nothing. I won't get involved because it seems that my voice isn't heard. My work isn't important. We've gotten to a place where it's just all a joke in America and there's nothing for me to do but to accept it. Let me tell you that sometimes you'll find out that you can't just sit down. Sometimes you'll find out that you just can't keep your mouth closed. There are seasons in our lives where we're being called to do more when there seems like there's less going on. You know, there's one thing to be in a place that seems like it's full of activity and you say to yourself, Sister Jasmine, that I've got to be involved. But it's another thing when it seems that everything else around you is dormant and doing nothing and you're the only one that's being called to work. It's a bad thing when you got to get up and you're the only one leaving the house working, nobody else waking up, nobody else doing anything, and you wonder, is there anybody else alive in this place? You know, sometimes that even happens in churches. There are members who've been in churches for a long time, and we oftentimes talk, Sister Lisa, about the faithful few. And you show up, and you might be 5 or 6, and you wonder, where are my other brothers and sisters? But let me tell you that you don't get to sit down just because nobody else showed up but you. The work still has to happen, and we still have to be vibrant in what we do, even in the face of a changing environment that may seem dull and dismal, that may seem like we're residing in the wilderness, but yet there's still, brother, man, so